Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Wizarding World. Another installment, I believe. This is installment 3 of the Wizarding World of Crawler Canyon as we assemble our Ottsix Wizard. There it is. It looks exactly the same as last time you saw it. These look exactly the same as the last time you saw it. Everything looks exactly... The extent of procedures was to put the screws that I had dumped out into a bag so I didn't lose them. Thread lock turns basically almost like syrup if left for an extended period of time, so we're going to need a new couple dots. If you do not own some Realth 222 and you buy yourself some, when you get the bottle, it's full to like here because it's a 50 mil, Continent 50 mil. This is a big bottle. There's like 3 bottles of it poured into one bottle, so now it feels like I got a lot. It's not expensive. It's inexpensive stuff. So we're gonna go straight into it. We should be able to get Les Chazés done today. Hopefully. Everything I'm still this is not what we've come to expect, and that's a shame. This should be exactly what we've come to expect. The machining quality on this is immaculate. It's so nice. Everything goes together so well. It feels good, man. This is a throwback to the kits of ye olden times when you were building an associated factory team kit of the 2000s, and you were just constantly overtaken by the feeling of, my God, this is so well made. This is so well made. Everything goes together. To the point where those factory team kits were laden down with aluminum fasteners. They were built here, they were built for absolute performance. You get that feel here, but you also get that crawler feel where we're like, so far, all we've touched is machined aluminum, carbon fiber, and machined Delrin. This is the way I would work if I had the capability and ability to do so. I am a faux machinist. I'm a fake machinist. I use rudimentary tools to perform rudimentary functions. This is what is done by machinists. This is machinists. The only thing that we can't answer on a bench is, was it built by people who know exactly what this toy car needs to do? Like, how aggressive is the performance of this going to be? Because what I want is aggression. So the cover shares 2 screws. And then the motor mount, so it shares 2 screws with the cover. So you can get the motor mount in place, and then you can get the cover in place. It just, I'm used to buying inexpensive axles from Amazon, AliExpress, what have you, and disassembling them because this hole right here wasn't tapped, so it won't go together. That's what I'm used to, or becoming accustomed to. I don't want to get used to it. There's your motor plate. There's your motor plate. And then it is, as one would anticipate, where we take this shit. And this machined. What do we got? I'm going to guess titanium. I'm going to guess titanium. Just on account of because. It's crazy. I don't want to sound like I'm fawning over it, you know? But it's a shame that nowadays, if something is built properly, it's more of a surprise than anything else. And this was definitely done properly. All the pre-tapped holes, the needlessly high quality machining, down to the little stuff, the voodoo logos lasered on it, I'll show you here in a moment, the lasering of 32 pitch 66 tooth on there. I am not mad about it. Everything has gone together with precision. This is the most pleasant kit I've built that I can even remember. You don't have to worry about that non-centric spur gear. There isn't even a back bearing in there. Let's slap that on there and see what kind of spin we get. It's so smooth. It's what we should expect from everything. But boy do we not get it. It's a shame. Now it's getting me introspective. It's made to a degree of wellness that I'm like, I'm flashing back. There are things which are economically priced, and to get to that economy, there's stuff you have to do. There's corners that need be cut. We didn't cut any corners here. I still, as I mentioned, and I want to say the first one, $500. $500 is not a small amount of money. It's becoming, in this sub-segment of the hobby, it's coming to a point where $500 is like the entry point. It's like where it starts. Like, I never thought I would live to see a time where the $500 RTR was a thing. I am significantly more comfortable paying $500 for a kit, particularly if said kit is machined and finished like this one, than I am paying $500 for an RTR that's going to require $300 of parts into it just to make it halfway decent. I don't go with hyper premier electronics, at least not in my estimation. That's about an $80 servo, the SA75. I shouldn't talk about things that are out of frame, I suppose. About an $80 servo. The speed control, if you purchase the Secure 120 independently by itself, not in a combo, $56 for that, and $40 for the motor. So we're not talking about overwhelmingly expensive, and it's going to be matched up with an RC4. I have a receiver for it, an RC4 with an R6FG receiver. We're talking all in like 230, call it 240 for full electronics, and that's it. Because it's a full roller with a body and everything else for $500, which is still, I'm still in the mode of, but how? How do they do this? How is this not a loss? How is this not the world's best machined Costco hot dog that, like, they're taking a bath on every one of these? I don't know. and I honestly, I don't want to find out. I just want more stuff like this available. More choices are always better. Just the little stuff, like the inclusion of the little body clips, which are probably the clips that hold the rest of the body on, the actual body on, but the little clips to stop stuff from falling apart. It's a level of thoughtfulness that, again, I have sort of come to the position of not being used to. We're going through some thread lock because parts are, so far, every part has gone into, every screw goes into something machined. And the ones in the skid and the body mounts, which are also Delrin, are the only ones that haven't gone into aluminum. It's kind of unheard of. I want another one. I haven't finished building this one, and I want another one. And the fact that there are bags behind me that are marked, I want to say H and I. Yes. Bags H and I are the portal boxes. You could own 3 wizards and not feel guilty about it, because then you can have a portal one, a straight axle one, and a mullet. I have this sneaking suspicion this is just gonna slide right in, just like that. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. It's okay. Wait, one is flatheads. That's on me. That's on me. I'm all right. I do that. I try to jump ahead of the instructions. You should see me with a Lego set. You know how many times I've had to go back 5 steps because I was like, oh, obviously this is what the next step is. I'm just going to jump ahead. And then I'm like, oh, so that little wedge brick was supposed to go under all of those other ones. That's a problem. No better problems than those we create for ourselves, because we're the best at it. I am my own worst enemy. It's getting upsetting, is what's happening. Why is this so well made? The only question mark that it can exist in our minds is Geo. How's the Geo gonna do? Where I have to quick view this, and in the spirit of that, I can't let my, we'll call it what it is, somewhat fawning over the level of machining and the quality of the parts. I can't let that influence, right? In terms of, while we're here in the wizarding world, yes, I would consider it personally inarguable that the value proposition here, acknowledging $500, acknowledging that it's $500, I don't know if you can find a better value for the money. I've not seen anything to make me question the expenditure of buying this. Not a single thing. It's a cyberpunk dinosaur. We've got the new stuff given to us, presented in the fashion that would have been common 20 years ago. Like, this might be the highest level of machining I've seen. Period. I'm absolutely not mad about it. Have we even really talked about the axles? About what it costs nowadays to get yourself all metal axles. Ignore the fact that they can be swapped from straight to portal Apparently they make a quick change kit, but we're going to get to find out how quick we can change it without a sort of a quick change kit. How quick can we put portals on it? So this goes into lock nuts and holds the rear uppers on. Part 1 is an 18 and goes through the upper center hole. That's an 18. And it goes through this. So we go like that. And then the other screw goes through the next one down, and that is an M3 by 10. That goes right here. If you should get to a point where you have to make adjustments, like if you want to change a link mount position, it's not going to be the easiest thing you've ever done. We've got some parts sandwiched over other parts. We're going to run this. This is the way we run this. This is the way everything goes, regardless of whose kit I'm building, what I'm cobbling together, whether it's an LCG conversion. If any kind of documentation whatsoever is included, that's how I build it. I don't make any choices or any changes, because I like to operate from a point of assumption. We like to make assumptions that the people who made this know what they're doing. Now, when that comes, now let's put a qualifier. Let's put an asterisk next to that. If we're building an RTR, and by building an RTR, I mean taking out the questionable bits, that's a potential downside. Slip off the nut. Grab the thingy. A lot of times in mass produced RTRs, there are choices made specifically for economy. So we adjust accordingly. I'm going so quickly that I keep feeling like I'm doing something wrong. But so far I've only put one screw in incorrectly, which is a testament to the people who built the vehicle, and the people who assembled the manual. If I can do it, I feel like anyone can do it. We're smashing and dashing through. I only had to dig into the bins because I lost a screw. It hasn't been short any single thing. Everything has been here. I have like an M3 by 8 and an M3 by 6 flat, and I've got a pin, and I know what the pin is for. That pin goes through there into the T case. But they're the only screws that came out of bags and weren't installed immediately in that step. I think I got that all the way tight. We'll find out right now. Yeah, it was mostly tight enough. That finishes page 13, bag F, and now we are instructed to install the dampers. Parts required from previous steps: truck assembly. That would be this. This is, and I could tell from when UPS dropped off the box, I was like, this is not going to be heavy. This is not going to be a heavyweight vehicle. Sub 5 pounds with this electronics choice, almost certainly. These are filled. Can we hear the sound? These have to be filled. They feel like correctly damped. I tend to run a little heavier, but we are talking about something that is going to be really quite light. They want an 16, should be 4/16s. It is, and it goes shock, They want them right side up. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to go against you. A little adjustable collar. A little height adjusted collar there. Preload collar. I run my shocks upside down whenever humanly possible. Now, this could come around and bite me because if you have a lot of steer angle, you can put your tire into your shock and unscrew your shock. That is a thing. I've done it. Wow, they really these guys know what they're doing. They went with a spring. They went with a spacer that is the spacer. There's going to be about 1 millimeter of clearance between the body and the chassis. And in the rear, they want second hole, upper row. Like I say, we build it exactly as instructed, and we make changes as need be. Some things do okay, quote unquote, out of the box. Some things, I probably, honestly, what I didn't look at. Here's something I didn't look at. Should I have installed the motor before I got the plate in? Will I regret it? No, the holes are readily accessible. I will indeed install the motor before I attach the axle. That is a thing that I will do. Upside down just looks good. This is... guys, I know it's going to sound like I'm overemphasizing, but the fitment, the ease of assembly. I didn't even measure the shock. The shocks, huge question mark. Because so many shocks on the market fail at the most basic of things. A, do they fit the vehicle? Sometimes. In Axial's case, usually no. There's either too much droop, not enough up travel, not enough compression, too much compression. They're just grabbing shocks out of vast bins full of shocks of a length not suited to the vehicle. I get this sneaking suspicion that is not the case here. I believe these are going to fit the vehicle. And it's going to be a nifty trick that we're going to have to analyze, because all other things being equal, in my experience, a portal rig and a straight axle rig don't run the same shocks because they have different ground clearance brought about by their axles. So we're going to have to, this thing will probably, because that thought just came out in my mouth, we're probably going to have to ghost ride this as a straight axle. Because how did it come out of the box? Straight axle. So now they want us to mount the axles. And once we mount the axles, this is pretty much a thing. But we've got to get the shocks. We've got to get the motor mounted. We've got to... I wonder... I'm guessing battery there. They want battery there. I'll jump ahead a little. Oh, there's another panel. There's another big old panel. Oh, maybe that's the ESC panel. Oh, there's a bunch of panels on here. Now I'm scrolling so far ahead that I'm going to lose. Yeah, once the axles go on, it's drive shafts. They have us assemble the wheels, which we've already done. We will figure out what is the best order to slap the electronics on here. And this is surprisingly almost done. We have one more link left to assemble. We've got bag H, bag I, bag J, bag K. K is just drive shafts. L is just screws. J is the panhard, and I worry that I cut the bag open and took it out because I don't see it. There it is. It's in I think. Regardless, we will approach that time the next. Also, I found out, here's a parting note that is not relevant to the wizarding world. So I bought these independently at different times. Secure 3625 1800 kV. That was my intended motor the whole time, because it's a tiny little thing that's not going to take up any space. And I wanted to go with the Secure 120 because the Secure 120 is rapidly becoming one of my favorites as you take it out of the package, as we did. The extent of modification I will have to do to it is solder a JST plug on it so that it can run a direct powered servo. You plug it in and you run it. It auto-calibrates. You don't need to go into the software. It comes with a little guy, comes with a little QR where you can go for the guy. And this should fit in here just fine. I'm not going to mount this. I do direct wire my motors to my, because I don't need all of this and all of this for a motor right there and an ESC probably right there. So the wires will come around and go, they'll be direct wired, is basically what I'm saying. And we'll get it put together the rest of the way, and it'll be a great time. And I will the whole time fight against the instinct to be like, this thing's the best thing that's ever sliced bread before. Because I don't know. The machining is outstanding. It looks tremendous, but we've gotten tremendous performance on the rocks for under 500 RTR. So we've got shiny quality of life bits. We've got titanium links and carbon fiber and beautifully machined parts, but the gubbins don't make the performance necessarily. We'll find out. We'll find out upcoming soon whether or not the gubbins will make the performance. We'll get this put together the rest of the way, probably in the next episode. And then we'll be on the rocks for a ghost ride before you or I even know it. Thank you for joining me for this one. Please do tune in for the next one. We loved having you here. As usual, questions, comments, and concerns below. I will try to build up some affiliate links below it. And I will see you next time, and at this point I will already start to get which number it is confused. I want to say this was 3, so the next time we'll get the axles on it. It will become basically a roller, if not a powered roller, in the next one. The goal is to get it basically complete in the next one so that we can throw it directly into the ghost ride and then get it straight into cabs and then quick view the tires, and it's on and on and on and on. All right. Tune in for those. Thank you for being here. In between now and when we meet again, please, one and all, do your very best to have a good one, everybody. We'll see you again here from the canyon with more of all the usual nonsense, as well as the wizarding world.